Welcome, Travelpreneur Dreams Agents. My name is Nikki Brown, and I am one of the regional Travelpreneur trainers. I have been an agent with Travelpreneur Dreams for about 8 months now. Prior to that, I have worked with other agencies and travel programs. I also do a lot of consulting work for small businesses on customer service, developing systems, and procedures. I have learned over the years with any business, you have to have a process and great customer service. This training will be about qualifying clients and establishing rapport. I'm sure at some point during your travel agent journey, you have done the research, provided pricing, made a beautiful proposal, and you heard nothing from your client. What happened? Did they book it themselves? They book it with somebody else? Were they not ready to book? Or did they come back a month later and would like more information on the quote you gave them? Or they may even tell you they found it cheaper. Let's make sure we are qualifying our clients and establishing a rapport. First off, you need to have some tools in your workbox. Workflow. You have to have a workflow or some kind of system to help you guide you through this whole process. And it should be written or typed somewhere, or it needs to be accessible so you can look at it. It could be a checklist so that you don't forget some of the important steps or important information that you may need. Website, a landing page, great things to have. Social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, try to have some kind of presence out there to attract clients. Email. You need their email addresses. Maybe you can do some email campaigns also. A CRM. If you're with Travelpreneurs, you should have Travel Joy. Some kind of invoice and payment system that you can send your invoices and payments and make it easy to get paid. Booking engines. Okay, those are your suppliers. If you've completed your orientation, you're already signed up for some of the providers. Calendars, using a tool like Calendly or any other kind of platform that you can book appointments. You can send a link to your potential clients so they can schedule an appointment with you easily. You should have some kind of forms, some scripts. A script will make it easy. You don't want a real tight script when you're doing things, but you just want to have some kind of guide, because no two people are going to be the same. No two clients are going to be the same. So you still want to have your stuff set up where you're saying similar things to people. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about suppliers. Like I said, if you have finished your orientation, you should have already been signed up for some suppliers. You can always sign up for additional suppliers that align with your niche. There's no need to sign up for a whole bunch of suppliers if they're not going to be the type of customers that align with your avatar. If it's not your type of customer or what you're selling, you don't really need to sign up for all of those suppliers. So become familiar with your suppliers, how to book with them, what tools do they have, policies. Most of the suppliers I've seen or I'm a part of, they have lots of training on how to use their system. They have different photos that you can pull down. They have a lot of tools. So just get familiar with them. Do their trainings. We have trainings on the Travelpreneur YouTube page, as well as the portal for different suppliers. You want to continue learning and growing. Like I said, there's loads of training on the portal. There are trainings throughout the week. Join some of them. There's training. We have live trainings on Facebook and Zoom. And if you miss them, you can always catch them again. They'll be posted. So you receive a call, a text, email, website inquiry from a client or in-person inquiry. Now, what do? Now what? This is where you start building the relationship, establishing a rapport. It's really important to respond as soon as possible. If you can respond within 30 minutes, that is great, because a lot of times people are shopping. So whoever gets to them first, that might be the one. Or if you take a few days, they probably have given up on you. Even if you can't talk to them right away, you might want to just shoot them a text, an email, or however they responded, and say, hey, I got your request, and let them know what your process is. Or you can send them a link for your Calendly, but don't just send a link. Explain to them. Send a if you don't have a digital business card, you might want to get a digital business card, or take a picture of your business card and send it in the text along with some kind of script. You can already have it already made. Automation is great. Type out something that you send to clients when they have an inquiry about you doing business with them. You can even make it really pretty and elaborate. You can go on Canva and make something pretty. You know, they want you to plan a trip, send them, design something, and then just keep stuff in your notes or in your pictures where you can access it relatively quick and send it out to them. Thank them. Always thank them. Thank them for reaching out to you. Listen to them, because they'll give you, if you listen a little bit, they will give you the information, a lot of the information that you need without you asking. It'll be just possibly clarifying, and then ask only the questions you really need to ask. Get to know your client. Where do they work? What are their hobbies? Where was their last vacation? What did they like about it? What would they have done different? Who's a part of their family? Ask those kind of things. What's their favorite hotel chain? Get to know your client. Ask them what information, if any, have they already gathered on the trip. This lets you know if they've been working with someone else. They may just tell you. Or if they've been doing a lot of research on their own, or they've been on Expedia or any of those other sites. You may find out that they were working with somebody and why they don't want to work with that person anymore. Okay. Just never know. But just ask them if they've gathered any other information. They may have even narrowed down what resort they may want to stay in. Sometimes if you don't ask, they're not going to necessarily tell you. They might not remember to tell you. That may be where they want to stay. Gather your necessary information. Let them know what your procedure is. You're definitely going to need a workflow. This does not have to be your workflow, but have a workflow. And it may change. You might find that what you've been trying to do for a few different bookings, it's not working, or you might need to rework it, put it in a different order, but you just still need a workflow. So, client contacts you, they want to go on a trip. What's your next step? Okay, they want to go on a trip. If I'm not available, or even if I am, I'm going to respond to them, right? I'm going to send them something, call them, get on the phone, what have you. You want to qualify your client. Use the booking inquiry form, a discovery call type consult. You can set those consults up, like I said, on a Calendly. If you don't have Calendly, that's great. They have a free version, and you can put your appointments, your availability on there, and you can send that out to them. I don't suggest anything over 15 minutes, maybe a 10-minute, 15-minute call for you to get to know them briefly, tell them a little bit about yourself and your process, and gather your information in that call. Anything over 15 minutes, you're probably giving them way too much information. You're giving them the information that they'll need to go book it. And you want to book it. And in that little call, you want to tell them, give yourself value. All right. And if you're one of those who charge in that consult, that's when you're going to tell them what the fee is for your service. Okay. Create your client profile. If you're using one of the booking inquiries we have in TravelJoy, it'll set it up automatically for you, a lot of the questions, and you'll just have to fill in the blank. But create that client profile in your TravelJoy, because guess what? If you have their email or telephone number, you can contact them later on and give them more information about different trips as well. Okay. Next, you want to research. Once they said that you guys have felt that it's a great match, you're a great match for them, they're a great match for you, Then, and they want you to proceed, then you do your research vacation. And for those of you who charge, once they pay, then that's when you would start your research, of course, right? All right. After you do your research, you're going to prepare your proposal based on the research you found and what the client really wants. What is it that they want you to do for them? What kind of trip? You're going to go ahead and prepare that proposal and highlight that. So in that proposal, you should be going over all the things that they said they wanted and start preparing. You can prepare in your systems. How many proposals are you going to prepare for them? Some people just prepare 2. Some people will do 3. It just depends on what you want to do. I know some people who only do 1 and it works for them. They find what you want and they give it to you and then they book it. Okay. But sometimes you might want to do 2. Give them what they want and then give them a little higher, something with a little bit, that's a little bit more. And then some people may do something a little bit less than what they asked for. So it's totally up to you how you want to do your proposals, but prepare them. And then the next step would be present the proposal, but you will send it to them, or you will have them, you can do another Calendly and have that scheduled where you're going to present it. You can present it on Zoom, you can present it by phone. Some people don't really like to talk on the phone. It's getting harder, but I think best practice is to go over it with them. So then you can get all the questions and objections if they have any. You can get that all out the way. But if you just have to send it, send it. Always give them a call or a text and let them know that you sent it, or email, say, or not an email. If you're going to email it to them, you're going to send them a text and say, hey, I just sent you your proposals. Okay, can't wait to talk to you. Or if they haven't scheduled, you can send them your link and say, hey, let's schedule a time where we can go over it. Okay, if they don't want to do that, then they have the proposal. And then you're just going to have to request that they contact you. And if they don't contact you, contact them. Contact them until they tell you no, or have a certain amount. My system 3 times. I'll contact you 3 times about the proposal. Usually don't have to contact them that much if you qualify them well. All right. Then you want to go ahead and once they say that they want it, put the travel package on hold while you're going ahead and making your invoice and your credit card authorization thing. While you're getting that together so you can send it out, go ahead and put your travel package on hold. Confirm all the info is correct. You may even want to make sure, like, you may have them send you a copy of their driver's license or passport, so then you have the correct information. But make sure when you're booking that you do have the correct spelling of their names, that type of stuff. Okay. Send your invoice, collect credit card information. Once you receive that, go ahead and pay your supplier. So put your deposit down, or if they paid in full, put it down. So then they secure their package. Okay. Enter your booking info into TravelJoy and the portal, and send your client the confirmation. So when you are qualifying your client, you have to know your W's. Like when you were a child, know your W's. Where, who, what, why, and when. You want to be able to answer those questions. Where are they going? Who's going with them? Ages, if it's kids, even if it's adults, what are their ages? If you get this information up front, then you don't have to keep calling back and forth. Because if you're even doing a insurance quote with like Allianz, they're going to want to know how old are the people on the quote. What's their age? If you don't know their age, they'll ask for the date of birth. So get that information. And if you're dealing with kids, some places have kids can go free. So you need to know that kind of information. What do they want to do? And that's when you're asking about hobbies and stuff like that, that'll give you some of the what. But what would they like to do on this vacation? Why are they going? Is it just a leisure vacation? Or is it a business trip? Maybe they're renewing their vows, or it's an anniversary, a birthday, a girls' trip, bachelor party. What's the occasion? That way you can even make it special for them, and you can highlight things, and you can find other things to add to that trip. When do they want to go? Is this flexible? And this is kind of important of the when. When do they want to go? Do they know? Some people will say give you a 2-month span. That's kind of long. Try to get them to narrow that down. You want it to be flexible, but you don't want to be looking all over for 2 months of things. Same thing with the where. Know where they want to go. Sometimes people will say, well, anywhere in the Caribbean. No. They need to narrow that down, okay? And you can do that part when you're in the beginning and when you're qualifying them. If they don't know exactly where they go and you're on that consultation call, and they can't narrow it down to 2 things, maybe you should reschedule that consultation call and let them figure out a couple places that they want to go. The Caribbean is big. That's a lot for you to try to figure out. Okay, well, tell them, can you tell me the top 2 places you want to go? Let them narrow that down. Budgets. You need to know the trip budget. Sometimes people do not know what their budget is. So try to help them out. Ask them about where they stayed last time, or what's your favorite hotel chain? What type of hotel chain do you like? Okay, or you can ask them, when you book hotels, how much do you spend? Do you spend $250 a night, $500 a night? And that can give you an idea, and you guys can try to figure out what the budget is. But sometimes it's not just based on money. It's based on who they're going with, what everybody's needs are. So for me, if I go somewhere with my husband, he likes luxury. So we're going to spend way more money on that. We're going to have that budget stretched out way more than if I'm going with my girlfriends and we're going on a girl trip, because we just need something clean and safe. We know about what we need, and so we budget accordingly. Okay, so budget. You've got to figure out what that budget is. Otherwise, don't know where to go. Some people say, oh, just something that you would do. No, that doesn't work. What I'll do and what you do may be 2 different things. Even if we are friends, it may be 2 different things. How will you get there? Do they plan on driving, flying, taking a train? You need to know how they will get there. Also, going back, when you're qualifying them, you want to let them know when you're doing that consult what you will do and what you don't do as far as planning trips. Some people don't do flights. So that's a time when you'll let them know that you don't do flights. And some people may not do flights, but they'll look up a little information for you and try to find out how they can get there and what that possible cost will be. Because that trip budget, you might have a flight included. So maybe it's a total of $5,000 a person, and they want to do have flight included in that. So that's kind of important to know. I'll tell you a short story. I did a whole trip, tried to qualify. I did qualify a client, and it was a small group, wanted to go to Costa Rica. And so did all the work. They liked the proposal. They said, go ahead, yes. And then I went ahead and I did the booking page for them. Then we got to a point where we were looking up airline fares. It would cost them about $1,000 to go. So now they're way over the budget that they had planned. And so now they don't want to go to Costa Rica because the airfare is too much. So make sure you, in that trip budget, if they want airfare included in that it's included in that, whether you book air or not. Okay. When will you be ready to book? If I find you what you're asking for today, will you be ready to book in a couple of days? Very important. If they say, oh, we're just looking around trying to figure out how much it costs, we're not looking to really book anything for another month or two, then there's no need to do a big elaborate proposal. You can give them an idea of how much things cost, but there's no need to waste your time doing a proposal, because what's good today is not going to be good in a couple of months. Okay, so don't waste your time with that. So how are you going to obtain your information? Important part of your process. Are you going to do it by phone, in person? Do you have a walk-in where they can come in person, or are you going to meet them at the local coffee house? Are you going to use your booking inquiry link? Or are you going to do a combination? Or also you could do a Zoom. So you need to figure that part out. If you're going to use the booking inquiry, we have a couple of them we have several on TravelJoy, or you can make your own. And you can make them right on TravelJoy. You can use the ones that we have and make them your own. Or you can also use the ones that we already have in here. But let's look at one of the basic booking inquiries. Okay. So it's just real basic. Where would you like to go? When would you like to depart? When would you like to return? Are your dates flexible? What's your departure city? How many people are going with you? What is your budget for all travelers? So there it is there. And if you have a question that it has a little question mark for your clients, and it tells them, well, this just gives me a general starting point and can always be changed later. So it gives them a little something. What best describes your hotel preference? It's going to tell you kind of where their price points are, okay, and what you should be looking for. What kind of vibe are you looking for? Everybody's vibe is different, and every trip the vibe may be a little different. So you want to know those questions. What activities are you interested in? Anything you absolutely must do or see. What else do you want me to know? Pretty basic. It shouldn't take them long to fill this out, okay? And here's another one. This is the ultimate booking inquiry. Now, this is more detailed. It asks about if you saw advertised codes. So you may even on your website have different trips advertised, and they have codes on them so that you know what trip they're talking about. How did you hear about me? That goes there. You do want to know what your referral source is. Your website working, or is it a family friend? How did you hear about me? Their name. What state do they reside in? Names and date of births for travelers. That'll be going with. Do you have a TSA approved real ID? You have a current passport, at least with 4 stamp pages left. Really important. At some point, you're going to have to get this information. You can gather it in the very beginning, or you can gather it during the process. Will that passport expire within the next 6 months? Important, because some places won't let you travel if your passport is going to expire. You might have a hard time. Email, phone number. What's the occasion? So some of the questions are similar. Number of adults, number of children, ages of all children, ages of all adults. Is this a hotel only land stay? Meaning no flight is needed. It's asking again about a different way of asking what type of hotels, which stars, and it's a little drop down so they can select which one. What city, state would you like your stay to be in? Or country? Where do you want to go? How many rooms do you need? Because people will tell you that it's 5 adults going, and they may be trying to cram in 1 room. You kind of need to know that, or if that's even feasible where they want to go and for what they want to do. Okay. If it's a cruise, port of departure. Where would you like to sail to? How many days? Which cruise line do you want me to check for you? This is a group. More than 10 adults, or 10 adults or more. How many are in the group? Adults and children. That's important. Flight. If you're going to do that, where would you like to fly to? Even if you're not going to book the flight, you still want to know some of this information, okay? And you're going to need, especially when you're going out of the country, you're going to need this information for transportation if you're going to provide the transportation to and from the resort. Are your dates flexible? How many days flexible are they? Budget per person. Do you prefer an all-inclusive resort? You might even want to go a step further. Do you want an adult-only resort? How do you want to pay? Do you want to pay in full? And if it's less than 60 days out, you probably will have to pay in full. Or do you want a payment plan? So it's got a drop down, deposit plus payment plan that lets you know how to do that invoice. Do you want travel insurance quote for this trip? Yes or no? I recommend you do a travel quote for every trip and let them decline and make sure that they sign off on that they're declining the travel protection. What types of tours would you like to be added to your trip? List the ages of the participants who are going to participate in the tour. List any additional details or questions below. And there's a thank you. Okay. And they would fill that out. They have a question, they can ask a question there, or they can just submit it. Okay. It's real simple. And everybody should have a booking inquiry form available in their TravelJoy. Let's see. Let me see if I can get to it. I'll try to get to it before we finish to show you how to find it on TravelJoy. Expectations. We talked about that earlier. Inform your client of your process in the very beginning. Let them know what's next, what to expect. If you charge a fee, tell them what it is during your consultation. If they are not ready to book, schedule another time for a consult when they are ready. If they don't know when that will be, then just make sure that they have your Calendly link or you follow up with them so you can get it scheduled, okay? So now I have all my information. Now what? If you gathered information in person or by phone and they're ready to book, once you have that proposal ready, schedule an appointment with them to go over the proposal. Let's get them scheduled. Keep them scheduled. Use those Calendly links. They're very easy to set up. It doesn't take long, and it just really helps. If they completed booking inquiry form, contact your client, send them Calendly link to schedule, or give them a call. Review the information provided and clear up anything you are unsure of. Ask them, right? Like I said, ask them if you find a property that fits their budget and their must-haves, when will you be ready to book? Just ask it. Let client know when you will have the proposal ready. Give yourself maybe an extra day. You don't want to tell them you'll get it done tomorrow when you're up all night trying to do it, unless it's an emergency and you really want to do that. You want to say, if you know you got to do a lot of research, give yourself a little bit of time to get it done. If you think you can get it done in 2 days, maybe tell them 3 days and then get it done in 2 days, okay? But if you tell them that you're going to get it done in 2 days, please have it done in 2 days. Schedule your time to go over your proposal, okay? It's time to research. So complete all your research on your destination, things to do, the resorts, excursions. We talked a little bit about flights. Just use one of the flight things, Google Flights. There's a couple of them out there, different flight things that you can look up, different flights, and they'll tell you about how much it costs, so you'll know to include that part when you're in the budget, okay? Compare pricing with at least 3 suppliers. Sometimes this supplier may have it on sale. They may have some kind of special or some kind of incentives. And this one may not. So you want to check around, and sometimes the pricing is a little off. So you want to give them the best price that you can. Okay. Complete your travel insurance quote. There's a lot of different travel insurance suppliers. I use a lot of Allianz. Sometimes I may use Vacation Express, but Allianz gives you very comprehensive. So I like the ones like that. And they also have it where they can protect your commission. So again, the proposal, take your research and make your proposals based off your findings and what they want. Schedule time to go over your proposal if you haven't already. Send the proposal to your client. Notify your client that you sent the proposal, because a lot of times they go to spam, you thinking they're ghosting you, but actually it went to their spam. So you can even let them know when you send, you can even let them know to check their spam folder if they didn't see it. Review your proposal over the phone or present it on a Zoom, or it can be in person, however you choose. Highlight the parts in your proposal that were must-haves or things they would like to have. So let them know. You heard them. They said they wanted an oceanfront. I found the oceanfront. They wanted a separate bedroom and a living area. You found it. I got a suite. You have a bedroom and you have a living room with a kitchen or whatever it is that they wanted. Let them know that you did that for them. Recap your proposal and ask for the sale. If you have 2 or 3 different ones, ask them, which one would you like to book? If you don't ask, sometimes they may give them a reason more to think about it. They may want to say they need to ask their friends or the proposal, but make sure the people who are making the decisions, try to get that ahead of time. The people who find out who is making the decision on this. If it's them and their spouse or them and their friends, the decision makers, try to get them in when you present the proposal. So that way, they don't have to go back and ask, and then it's not wasting time. Okay, and then you got to chase them down a little bit more. Okay, I did say that I was going to show you how to find those booking inquiries and your Travel Joy. All right, so I'm going to go to mine. You can get to them a couple different ways. You can, when you create a new trip, just right here, trip or client trip, put your client information in. If you're already in your system, you can just put their name in there and hit enter, create new, and then you would just go into the files and create the form. I'm going to just do one on one of my play trips. So we'll do this one. I can either create here. I can sit here and create a form. And the client inquiry form, the first one I showed you that was with the basic information is right there. Even whatever you want, client profile update, credit card authorization, all of that stuff is in here. Okay. If we want to send them the ultimate travel booking inquiry, there it is there. You can preview what it's going to say, and that's it. To verify that's what it is. That's it. Next, you can review your email. You can edit. You can take all this out and put your own little blurb in there. You can also just have it already sitting in there. And if you want to add an attachment to that, so maybe you want to add your link, you can add your link, your Calendly link in here. And then you're just going to hit send. And then it's gonna go right to your client. Okay. So here it is. there's the travel inquiry thing. This is it sending it to you. And it's going to let you know it just sent it June 5th at 4:10. And once I open it up, it's going to let me know that it's been opened. Let's see if I can open it up on my other form. Give me just a sec. There it is. View travel inquiry form. I think I have to fill it out first. Once I fill it out, send my email. Once I fill it out and submit it, it's going to send me, or once someone fills it out and they submit it, it's going to send you an email letting you know that they have completed that part for you. Okay. So real easy to get to. You can go into your files here. And see here, it says it's viewed, even though I didn't send it, but it knows that I opened it up. Here's one that was submitted. And this is the form, and it tells you it's the ultimate travel booking form. So that one was submitted. This one was just viewed. And as soon as they fill it all out, it'll change to submitted. You can also go here to these dots. It's 3 dots right here. Get the form link. There it is. There is your booking link for that. It's copied to your clipboard. And this is your ultimate booking link. You can copy it, put it in your notes on your phone, put it somewhere on your desktop so that if you need it, if you want that link, or you need to send it out real quick, you have it already handy, okay? And you might want to just have a note section in your notes just for links. So you can put this link, you can put your Calendly link, you can put your Zoom link. Zoom too. Get you a Zoom account if you don't have one. They have them free. You can be on there for at least 40 minutes for free. And then when that runs out, you just send them a new link and you get back on. Okay. So have that stuff already ready so you can have some really smooth transitions and automation. All right. All right. So just to recap, remember, qualify your clients. It's really important. It saves you a lot of time and energy. If they are not ready to book, or if they're not sure of what they want, if they're just baiting you for information, don't assume that they're just baiting you for information. Just make sure you qualify them. Ask them the questions. Find out when they're ready to book. Find out where they want to go. Do that. It will save you a lot of time and energy and frustration in the long run. Let them establish the rapport. Ask them about themselves. Tell them about you. Find out what their expectations are. Lay down your expectations. Open up the conversation. And it may be multiple conversations. You may need to have one, for the consult. You'll have another conversation probably for the proposal. And even once they book the trip, you're going to still talk to them somewhere before the trip, maybe a couple times before the trip. You may want to talk to them and make sure that they're going in the right direction, that they've got the documents they need, that they know what to expect when they're going on their trip. That all helps establish that rapport and keep them coming back. Find out where they want to go next in the next year or so, or next 5 years. So you just start gathering that information, and you have the perfect tool, Travel Joy. Put it in the notes. Just type it all in the notes. So there you have it. Okay. All right. Well, continue learning and growing. Participate in the trainings that are offered. There's loads of training on the portal and on YouTube on how to do different things. There's several trainings throughout the week. Join some of the trainings in the Facebook group or by Zoom. And then if you can't join, you can always go back and find them. You can just put it in the chat, put it in the question mark on the Facebook page, put what you're looking for in that, and it should pop up for you. Or if you can't find it, just ask somebody in the Facebook group or try our portal. Some things are on YouTube. Everything's not on our YouTube channel. If you have questions, just please feel free to ask. always just keep learning. Keep learning. The more you learn, the easier this process is going to be. Have your processes and your procedures down. Like I said in the beginning, if you need to change something, you change it. Try it a couple times, and if it's not working, change something. Okay, and it's okay. Ask people. You have a big group of support. We have a big Facebook group. We have trainers. Ask somebody. Questions and support. Have a quick question, drop it in the Facebook group. If you need a little more help, schedule an appointment with one of the trainers. If you have any questions about what I've said on this, you can contact me in the Facebook group or schedule an appointment with one of the trainers. All right. Thank you. Thank you for attending. I hope you learned something. Have a good day.